always it will compare the models whatever we develop here in this HANA. It is always compared with the BW models. Okay, BW or business intelligence. So these are the models of ETL tool of BW. So okay, so now we'll start with the actual HANA. One second.
Praveen, I mean, if you don't mind, can we get a little bit of introduction about yourself too? And so we just get to know you also better.
Yeah, my name is Praveen Kumar. Almost 2 years of experience I have IT, and I have been working in BW, BI, BO, and HANA. So this is what my experience is. I don't want to disclose my company name. Okay? So if you, apart from my company, if you want to know anything else, you can ask me.
Praveen, your voice is pretty
Sure.
low.
I mean, it's mostly with HANA. I mean, yeah, your experience with.
Praveen, your voice is pretty low. So if we appreciate if you can come close to the microphone or adjust and properties out there.
No. Yeah, I'm already wearing the headphones and my volume is on high. Still,
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Continue.
Okay, 1 second. One second, guys. Okay, so first, before starting HANA, what are the proof points which is made by HANA? Means before coming into the market, HANA need to do some proof points. To prove means you need to prove, need to please show the proofs of HANA to sell the HANA product to the client. So before knowing the proof point, first we'll see the history of the HANA. Sorry guys, give me 2 minutes. My kid is. Okay, first we'll start with the history of HANA. So this HANA is the synthesis of 3 separate products. Okay, Trex PSAT and MaxDB. Like MaxDB is the original and traditional database of SAP. Okay, and Trex text retrieval and extraction is the search engine, which is used by SAP, and it began in 1996. Okay, in 2002 and 3, okay, in-memory attribute and columnar data store and was added to this. Both as ways to enhance the performance. Okay, columnar and data store was added to this to increase the performance of the SAP systems. Okay, and this in later sessions we will understand this in deeply. What is this columnar data store and in-memory attributes. Okay. in what way this enhancement is implemented, and in what way this will increase the performance when the retrieval is done from the tables. And in 2005, SAP acquired Millipart based Transact in memory with acquisition P star time and in memory lightweight online transaction process RDBMS technology with row based data store. In 2003, columnar data store was implemented, and in 2005, row based was implemented. And MaxDB, I have already told you that MaxDB is the formerly SAP database, and it's a relational database. So coming from mixture of software AG, RWS D. And in 2009, development initiative was launched at SAP to integrate all these three together. Okay, all these three together about to provide a more comprehensive feature. That resulting product was named, initially it was named New Database, then changed to HANA Database, and it was finalized in 2011. And following are the versions of HANA, means till now. What are these? Are all the versions till now released. Okay, SP0, which is the released in 2010. This was a public release first time. And SP1 it is released in June 2011. Means in this general availability was there. Okay. And SP2 it is released in 2011. More data-made functions were implemented in Service Pack 2. And Service Pack 3 HANA 1.4 released in 2011, 7th November 2011. And SP4 which is released in 26th May 2012. And the latest release which is released in November 2012. So this is the brief history of HANA. So now we'll see the proof points what are made by HANA to prove their product, to sell their product to end clients. So the very first what HANA is done, HANA is collaborated with Colgate and Palmolive, okay? Because they are the very top retailers, and they also have huge data, means where they can do the proper analysis and where they can create a valuable proof point to prove their product, and they can sell their product to the end client. That is the reason they have collaborated with this Colgate and Palmolive. Okay, and this analysis was done on the point of sales data, which had the point of sale data which is owned by this Colgate and Palmolive. Okay, live analysis by consumer product companies reveals how SAP HANA analyzes the current point of sales data in real time, empowering this organization to review segmentation. Means they have taken the sample data from the point of sales data, which was containing some 70 retailers and 460 billion records, which consumed the 50 terabytes data, terabytes of space. Okay, and to retrieve this data using the HANA system, it only took 0.4 seconds of time analysis or a response time, okay, on a device anywhere, anytime. Means they have used different devices, okay, mean normal computer, mobile, okay, to means they have the reports which were developed using this HANA, okay, they retrieved the data, and the data retrieval took only 0.4 seconds. Means this is a 20 times faster analysis with 200 times better price and performance. Means when we compare this with the existing database tools or reporting tools, this is 200 times better price and also the performance. And this performance affected the shelf turnaround as well. That is from down to 2 days from 5 days. You see, earlier it was taking 5 days, now it's only taking 2 days after implementing the HANA. Okay, eliminated out of stock scenarios during promotions. This was the one of the proof point made by HANA. And this is the next success story of SAP Customer 2. This experiment is done on the data of Barclays Bank. I hope you all know the Barclays Bank. It is one of the very biggest bank in Europe. Okay, this Barclays Bank. And instead of the traditional database, when they used the HANA database, the data compression was so high, means it is up to 6.3 times data compression was when compared with the traditional database. Means here if you observe this in this first graph, data compression with HANA, the traditional database taken 149.9 GB of the space. Okay, when it comes to HANA, it only took 6.6 GB. The data compression is almost 6.3 times data compression. And the query runtime, okay, means they haven't changed anything. Okay, they didn't change any schema, they didn't change any tables, they didn't change any syntax of the SQL. They have taken all the same existing SQLs and they have run it on the HANA database. And the retrieval time was, if you observe here in this graph, that is 2660 seconds, and in HANA it only took 5.1 seconds. So this is the performance while retrieving the data. So it's almost 369 times average speed up while retrieving the data, and 6.3 data times is the data compression. So these are the proof points made out of these two customers. And now we'll see what are the benefits. Okay, HANA benefits: empowering your organization, reduce the reliance on IT sources. When I say this word, reduce the reliance on IT sources, okay, when we compare the, for example, if we take any ETL tool, okay, what we will do in the ETL tool, we will load the data from any RDBMS system or any OLTP system into the ETL database. ETL means data warehousing database. The normal time it will take, means for example, if a load is taking some 12 hours of time, okay, if we use HANA, it will only take some 45 to 50 minutes of time. In this way, okay, we will reduce the support resources. Means we will reduce the support resources means it is reducing the reliance on IT resources. Right? It will be a huge saving for the client. Okay. In this way, the HANA, with the help of HANA, we can reduce the reliance of IT sources. And real-time visibility to complete data for transaction analytics. When I say this real-time, in HANA, this is real time. Means because I don't have any other word to use. That is why I'm saying real time. When I say real time, okay, zero latency means as soon as the transaction is performed, within no time these data can be seen in the report. Within no time, I cannot even, within fraction of seconds, the same data you can see in the report, which is zero times latency. So that is how I can explain you the real-time visibility of the complete data, transaction and analytics. And enable 360-degree view. When I say 360-degree view, it's a multi-dimensional analysis which is achieved in the ETL tool. What I am saying here, it is a database. In the database itself, we can achieve this multi-dimensional view. So that is 360-degree view of your business. So earlier, what we were using to achieve this 360-degree view or multi-dimensional view, we are using ETL tools. Though the performance is very bad, because no client or no IT development company had no choice other than ETL tools. That is the reason we are using ETL tools and OLTP tools. But in HANA, again, with the performance, with the zero latency, with the loads, and we can also achieve multi-dimensional reporting. Analytics for operational data. Go from what happened to yesterday, right, to real time. Means if we are using any ETL tool, we can only see the data till yesterday, right? Now in using HANA, means depending on our requirement, we can see the data till yesterday or to real time. Close to zero latency. I've already explained you. ability to leverage and analyze large volumes of data. I've already explained you about the loads and the data, how much time it will take, and how the support resources are reduced. Okay. Low TCO. Its total cost of the ownership will be reduced. Non-disruptive. When I say non-disruptive means everybody will have question. Okay, very good. HANA is doing well in by all means. But how can we disrupt our existing systems, and how can we use HANA? This is the question raised by most of the clients. But again, this is one of the beautiful feature with HANA. HANA can go and fit in any environment without disrupting any existing environment. We can use the HANA with the combination of anything. We can use this with the combination, means we can use this with RDBMS, we can use this with ETL, we can use this with OLTP systems. We can use this with any systems without disrupting any existing landscapes or architecture. That is the beauty of HANA. Low TCO by leveraging of this record and deliver as a pre-configured appliance. And this HANA is delivered by SAP, and means this is the combination of both hardware and software, and this is a pre-configured system. But this is delivered by SAP. Now we'll see what is HANA. SAP HANA is a flexible, multi-purpose data source agnostic in-memory appliance that combines both hardware, and I've already said that it's a combination of both hardware and software. Means it has got both hardware partners and software partners. In the latest screens or slides, we will see who are those hardware partners or software partners. Okay. To support a number of valuable use case scenarios, I've already given 2 use case scenarios as well. Okay. HANA enables organizations to analyze their business operations based on huge volumes of transactional information as business happens. For this also I have already given you examples. And this is the main advantage of the hardware. Okay. So in the traditional computing, what happens? Our data will reside in the hard disk, right? And we will retrieve that data to the front-end screen. Okay. Using the GUI applications. What happens when we perform this type of actions? The data is retrieved from the hard disk through the cache memory. Okay, because the hard disk is very big and the cache memory is very small. That is the reason. Okay, data retrieval will take very long. For this, we never had any solution. Though you are using any database, means it can be Oracle database, it can be SQL Server database, and whatever the performance tuning steps you are using, whatever you are using, till date we don't have any proper solution for the quicker retrieval of the data, because we are using the traditional database and we don't have any other option to we cannot change this hardware, right? So we are using the same traditional database and traditional hardware systems, hard disk, cache memory, and the front-end screens. Okay, so this is the traditional database whatever we use. When it comes to HANA, okay, this is directly or when I said hardware and software combination, this is all together implemented on the RAM itself. That is the reason it is extremely fast communication and data transfer in nanoseconds. So it means it directly retrieves the data from RAM itself. Now, when we talking about RAM directly, these are the challenges which we need to face. RAM is expensive, RAM has limited capacity, data in RAM is volatile. This statement is made by the database designers by what they it means the database what they got database cards or RDBMS principles were designed by the experts like Kimball and Iman. They said that in the data in the database is volatile and we cannot use it for analysis purpose. These are the statements made by Kimball and Imman. I'm not saying these statements are wrong, okay, but this enhancement proved that we can use the database for analysis as well, because this is the combination of both software and hardware. This has proved that we can do analysis directly on the database, and we can create models on top of database directly. Means we don't need to use any other ETL tool or data warehousing tool separately. Okay. We can use the same HANA database for analysis as well. So this is question mark for the challenges. Okay. Okay. In here now we'll see the some statistics of the memory. Okay, RAM. Okay. Cost of 1 MB RAM was in 1970. It is almost $50. In 2001, it's come down to 0.1 cents, 0.01 cents. Access and read time for disk and main memory. Okay, main memory access 100 nanoseconds. Okay, read 1 MB from memory, that is 250,000 nanoseconds. This is a drastic change which we can observe. Okay, read 1 MB from disk. So this many nanoseconds it will take. Okay, disk seek, this many nanoseconds it will take. So when we work with directly memory, okay, you can see the difference, main memory and disk. And HANA software and hardware partners. Okay, this is called as in-memory computing engine. And IBM, HP, Cisco, Fujitsu, Dell, NEC and Hitachi are the hardware partners of this HANA. And these systems, I've already told you that pre-installed systems, okay, pre-configured, and this is delivered by SAP, pre-installed and pre-configured as per the requirement. And this is the hardware architecture of the HANA systems. Even I don't have a technical understanding of this hardware, okay, but this is how this picture is demonstrated of the of the hardware architecture. Means it contains the minimum HANA system will come up with one CPU has 8 cores. Okay, one motherboard has 4 CPUs. Okay, means one CPU will have 8 cores. Like that, we will have 4 CPUs. So total of 32 cores, and 8 memory slots will be there. 8 memory modules per slot. Again, in one slot we will have 8 memory modules, and like that we will have 8 slots. Means so total of 1024 GB RAM per server. This is the minimum configuration of one HANA server. And optimized data transfer means till now all whatever the calculations which we require for analysis, because we had no choice, okay, we were doing it in the application layer. So whenever we do this in the application layer, so whenever we retrieve the data, at that point these calculations are performed, and this will take the long time to see the data in the report. Right. But in HANA now we can we can go for the future approach. Means we don't need to do the same practice like classical approach. Now we can do all the calculations in the database layer itself. So query retrieval time will be faster, and report and presentation layer will not have any efforts, and the burden will be lessened on the application layer, and the retrieval is very fast. Move all calculations into database. Only transfer the results into the report. So till now we are practicing classical approach. No matter whatever the application, whatever the OLAP, whatever the ETL or whatever the DBMS you are using, still now we are only practicing the classical approach. Now we can. This is our future approach if you use HANA. And here this is why I have kept this slide is this is a certification question. Okay, the certification question is like what are the hardware innovations by HANA providers? Means in this way something the question will be like this. Okay, so for this question you need to answer all these things. Okay, multi-core architecture. Okay, in the bracket this is optional if you want to write 8x8 core CPU per blade. This is optional. Multi-core architecture is must for this answer, and massive parallel scaling with many blades. Okay, and that's all these 2 points. And the second you need to write this answer as well. Okay, 64-bit address space, that is 2 TB in current servers, 100 GB per second data through output. I think this is throughput. Okay, and dramatic decline in price and performance. These also you need to write all these answers for the hardware innovations. What are the hardware innovations by HANA providers? So these are the answers you need to write. And what is the software innovations of HANA providers? Okay, so for software innovations you need to write this row and column store, compression partitioning, no aggregate tables, insert only on delta. Means these are all the row and column store, compression partitioning, no aggregate tables. These means physically, okay, we were implementing till now, means we were implementing all these things in the data warehousing system. If we use HANA system, we don't need to manually implement all these things. These are all the things automatically taken care by the HANA system. So now we don't need to implement the compression manually, partitioning manually, aggregation manually, row and column store, nothing. This is automatically taken care by the system. So that is the reason this is a software a certification question, software innovations of by HANA. Why HANA? Okay, now we'll understand why HANA. Means when would you use row store and when would we use column store? We'll try to understand. Okay, row store. Okay, mainly distinct values in the source database. It leads to low compression rate. Entire width of the table relevant. No aggregation or search required. Means what means whenever we don't want all these things, then we will go for row store. A table has a minor number of records. Means whenever we are working on reports like reports which are required for analysis, means for analysis we only see the summarized and aggregated data. Okay, so whenever we are working on such reports, okay, we will go for row store. Whenever we want a detailed level of report, then we will go for column store. Large number of rows where column based operations will be processed. Large number of columns, superb suitability for analytic applications, read access. Okay, so depending on our requirement, we can go for row store or column store. So what and how the data is means if you see the table, means any table, okay, it will look in the same way, row based or column based. But while reading the data, depending on the type of the table, it will read the data like this. If it is a row based, okay, it will read the data row by row. If it is column based, data is means it reads the data column by column. So depending on the table type. This is the traditional database, okay, reduces the latency and data storage. Okay, this is very good for data storage, which is followed by any OLTP systems or RDBMS system. This is the HANA database. Okay. So row ID is 5. Okay, here material type is radio. It is radio here. Okay, in traditional database, means it is search, it will do the search with the help of the name. Okay, whenever it tries to search with the name, okay, the search engine will take longer. Okay, in HANA database, it will search the material with the help of ID, which is more faster. Whenever it uses the numeric values, okay, it is faster. Whether it is row or column store, okay, it will search the table with the help of the IDs. So searching with the help of these IDs will be more faster. Okay, this is the conceptual view. Okay, conceptual view means this is the traditional database view. Means this, in this way the data is stored in the columns, like okay, a 10 euros. Okay, this is the normal traditional look of the table. Means conventional database store records in rows, right? Storing the data in columns enables faster in-memory processing of operations such as aggregates. Now, columnar layout supports sequential memory access. Okay. This is columnar and this is row based. So when we define any table in the HANA database as a row, okay, in this way the data is, means this is the example how the data is, how a query reads the data from the table. So means while reading it will read the data like this. If it's a row type, okay, sorry, if it's a row type, it will read the data like this. Okay, first it will read the first row, and then again it will read the second row, okay, and then again it will read the third row. This is how it reads. But if it is a column based, look, when I say column, when I have already told you that column based is used for, okay, summarized or aggregated data. Okay, in column based, look here, if you observe here, it has stored all the data in column wise. So first it has done with the first column, then again it has done with the second column. So whenever this means, whenever I say aggregation, okay, aggregation is performed on the numerical values. It can be revenue, it can be quantity, or it can be discounts or anything. So whenever I talk about this measure items or revenues or whatever it is, these are all numerical values. So whenever it reaches the numerical value, it will stop doing the search and it will perform the aggregation, which is very faster. So now again it don't need to search for another numeric values, because once it is start start with the numeric value, okay, then again means here if you by seeing this column you understand that, look, it is reading the data column wise. So as soon as it reaches the in here, in each and every row, it should go and check for the numeric values, right? It means in this row type, it need to search each and every row. Here it don't need to search all the columns. But as soon as it reaches the numeric value, it will stop searching and it will calculate everything. So this is how the performance is increased using this column by for analysis. And this is the business intelligence client and SAP HANA. In the center, this is the SAP appliance. Okay, this is the main HANA system. SAP in
Hey, Praveen.
Hello, Praveen. I think we lost him.
Right, yeah.
Hello guys, you are with me, right? Okay, so this is the one which is the SAP. This is the overall architecture of the HANA. Okay, so this is the SAP HANA in-memory computing engine with a Sybase replication server, and it can be mounted on top of anything as per the requirement. In this example, okay, I'm showing with SAP BW or any other third-party system, and also I have used ERP in this. Okay, so first we'll understand this one. Okay, it means the data is passed into SAP BW or third-party into the SAP HANA database right here, and depending on our requirement, again this data is analyzed with the help of different applications. Crystal Explorer, Office, and whenever we want to do detailed reporting or OLTP reporting or real-time reporting, then we can use all these applications. Okay, Crystal Explorer, Office. Okay, right. All these applications. So means this is the OLAP layer. OLAP layer means it will contain all the reporting tools. Okay, and for summarized or aggregated reports, we will always seek the help of a semantic layer. Okay, semantic layer means it is the meaningful or layer which will contain the logic and to build summarized or aggregated reports. And to develop these reports in business objects, we use whereby dashboards and crystal reports. Okay, so three different types of tools are there. So we can use this HANA database for both real-time reports and summarized reports, and we can also do reporting using Microsoft Excel. For this, okay, we will use MDX. MDX is the traditional database. I've already told you this is the open database. This is like an open database connection. We call it as ODBO. Okay, this is not a open database connection. This connection is used particularly for only for Microsoft Excel. Okay, that is a OLE database connection for OLAP. This is called as ODBO. On the right hand side, if you see that, it is connecting to Microsoft Excel, and this is more fast and flexible. We can directly see the reports in Excel, and we can also use this HANA with the ERP systems. Okay, means here if you see ERP system, if we can consider this ERP system as ECC6, ECC6 background, what it will have? It will have a database, right? Okay, so directly we can connect this ERP system to HANA. Whatever the data required, we can pass it to HANA, and on top of the data, okay, we can do the detailed reports. We can develop the detailed reports. Okay, detailed reports or real-time reports or whatever you say, using Crystal Explorer or Office. Okay, and also we can supply this data back to the Sybase Unwired. Okay, and if you want to use any other applications or anything, okay, you can use this here. So this is the overview of a HANA architecture. And until today, what is the traditional way we are using? We'll try to understand. Okay, SAP BW. I hope you all know that this is a data warehousing tool. Okay, or an ETL system where we will extract the required data from different systems. That can be SAP ECC or SAP CRM server or non-SAP systems. Okay, depending on requirement, we can extract the data into the SAP BW system and SAP from on top of SAP BW system using the OLAP tools which are available in SAP BW system, Vex, VAD, and Report Designer. 3 different tools for 3 types of reports. Okay, ad hoc reports, real-time or OLTP reports, and dashboards. So this is the till today what we are following. Now some more. This is this picture is will demonstrate how we can modify that existing way using the HANA database. Now if you see here, we are extracting the data into BW system, and we can push the data from BW system to HANA database, and then we can do the reporting using our business objects OLAP tools. Okay, or else we can directly push the data directly from the OLTP systems to HANA database. So depending on our requirement, we can do it in any way. And here we have an application called HANA Studio. It's the application where we can develop the models in within no time, and we can use that models for reporting. So this is the HANA Studio. That is the reason I have just created a small square here, and I have written HANA Studio. HANA Studio is the application where we can create the models, and on top of that models we can create the reports using business objects OLAP tools. Okay, and this is the traditional way which we are following. Okay, Vex, VAD, and report is, and in the past slide I have shown you. So now we don't need, no more, we don't need of these tools anymore. We can use these tools, business objects, OLAP tools, and we can push the data directly into HANA database. So means if a client is already using SAP BW system and if you don't want to disturb all this, so in that scenario we can directly use the HANA database, and we can push all the data which are the models or whatever it is created in the BW system. We can directly push into this database, or else we can directly push the data into HANA database, and we can create the similar models which are in the SAP BW system, and on the top of those models we can create the reports using the tools which are available in business objects version 4. That is the reason here I am saying it rebuild the reports. Okay, and these are the existing reports, because even SAP is forcing all the existing SAP clients to not to use the older tools. They need to use only business objects tools except the Vex. So anyway they need to go for business objects 4, whether they want to use HANA or not, but they need to use this business objects 4. So whenever they want, when they want to go for business objects 4, they need to rebuild all the reports. And when I say rebuild, you may think that it will take very long time. Okay, again, okay, it's rebuilding a report. It's not a small task or something you may think like that. Okay, the business objects tools are very easy and flexible, and within no time we can rebuild all the reports. And this is the some bigger picture of the HANA again. Okay, this is the traditional SAP BW, and using HANA and HANA Studio we can directly use the existing reports also, like this, which will be more faster. And on top of this BW, we can also use business objects tools. So depending on client requirement, we can use it in anywhere. As I've already told you, that HANA is very flexible. It can just go and fix in anywhere. I'll show you more bigger picture in the next slide, like this. Okay, we can directly mount all the existing systems on top of HANA, and we can design everything in HANA Studio, and directly we can report on top of this HANA directly using the business objects tools. Okay, or we can also use like this tools. Here, when I said except Vex, we can leave all the tools I said, right? Whatever the Vex queries which are developed in this existing OLAP tools, using the Vex, again we can create the new reports using the business object tools. Means we don't need to implement any new logic. With the existing logic, we can create the new reports, which is very simple. Means here we don't create any new logic. So here it is an HANA database. It can go and fit in anywhere. And these are the products. So SAP LT replication server means landscape transformation. Okay, and this landscape transformation means this is the replication of any OLTP system which is available for these databases. Okay, this is possible with MSFT, SQL Server Enterprise Edition, Oracle Enterprise Edition. Okay, IBM DB2, IBM DB2, Plan. Okay, this is planned in SAP HANA. Already we are using SAP 5, Service Pack 5. Okay, so even this is possible. Okay, MaxDB is okay. Okay, until January 2012. Okay, this is also done. Okay, so these all the databases can be replicated into HANA within no time. So means we can do real-time reporting on top of all the databases. Whatever the databases here mentioned, You can do reporting, real-time reports on top of all the databases. These are the SOPs of the technical availability. And these are the three type of products till now HANA is selling. Okay, this is platform version, enterprise version, and extended. Okay, and these products will come with these features. Okay, HANA database, HANA Studio, HANA client, HANA host agent, and HANA information composer in platform. Okay, in enterprise version, it will have LT replication add-on, LT replication server. In those who ever want real-time reporting, they can go for this enterprise thing, landscape transformation. And in this extended version, it will come with the Sybase adaptive server, okay, Sybase replication server, Sybase replication agent, and SAP HANA load controller. So depending on the client requirement, they can go for different types of products, that is platform version, enterprise version, and extended version. So whenever we start with HANA, we'll start with the HANA Studio. HANA Studio is the one where we will learn everything. Okay, in HANA Studio, whatever the models which we develop here, we call it as information models. Out of these models, the information is supplied to the reports. Okay, and using the data schemas and tables, we will create this information models using the HANA Studio. And these are the following steps which we need to follow. Okay, so in the very first step, we will import source system metadata. That is, physical tables are created dynamically. We don't need to create any table. Okay, automatically it will create the table. Okay, physical table dynamically, schema definition of the source system tables, everything. And next level, in the next stage, we will do data provisioning. That is, physical tables are loaded with content. Automatically, whatever the data which is required, the data will be loaded from the OLTP or RDBMS system into the tables which are created, dynamically created. So data is loaded into the data. Okay, and then on top of the tables, we can create our own information models depending on our report requirement. Those are called as database views. Okay, means we will have three types of database views. That is, attribute views, analytical views, and calculation views. So when we start working with HANA Studio, we will see everything hands-on, how to create this attribute views and what exactly this attribute view and what exactly this analytical view and what is the calculation in detail. And after creating these views, we will deploy it. Okay, column views are created, means automatically the column views are created and activated. I already said that column views are for analysis. Okay, so most of the times we only work with analysis reports, right? So that is the reason all these models are automatically created in the tables. Table type will be column table type, and consume with choice of client. So when I say choice of client, again you can use any type of reporting tools or OLTP tools. Okay, BIX connections or SQL or MDX. So it will support BIX. BIX means Business Intelligence Customer Service. This is the full form. Okay, it is one of the connection type, and SQL you know, and MDX also you know, which is a traditional database of SAP. So, this is the modeling process flow of any information model. And this is the studio screen of studio schemas and tables. This is how, okay, in means whenever here we have a certification question here. Okay, means until today means whenever you create a schema, you have to build grant access to system_repo user. If you see here, okay, _system_repo. So you need to grant the access on this particular schema to particular user. Whenever you create a schema or you build a schema, you need to grant the access to underscore system underscore repo user. You will have to build grant select to system underscore repo. Means we need to with the help of the GUI application, or we need to write an SQL statement and we need to execute it to grant the permission. This is an interview question. And the next one is the underscore sys underscore BIC. Whatever the column view you create, when I say column view, means whenever you create any view, okay, that is analytical view, attribute view, calculation view, okay, this view is a column view, okay. So all means you need to grant to create those these views can found under this sys underscore BIC schema. So when we practically work with this HANA Studio, I will show you where exactly this sys underscore BIC schema is visible, and whenever we create these views, those views are directly stored under this schema underscore BIC, and this is also a interview question. Certification question. Studio packages and views. Okay, these are the views which we will create. Attribute views, analytical views, calculation views, analytical privilege, procedures. Okay, these are the things we will deal with. Okay, everything we will see hands-on. Defining the joins between tables or select means attribute views means I hope you people can differentiate between master data and transaction data. So when I say transaction data, whenever the any transaction is performed against any product, that is a transaction data. Whenever I say master data, okay, master data is something whenever we implement anything. So to start doing the business, first they need to have a master data in that particular database, right? So product name is a master data. Okay, product type is a master data. So product description is a master data. So whenever I say transaction, okay, means when a product is sold. So whenever a product is sold, what type of transaction data will be generated? System will generate quantity sold, okay, or amount sold, the revenue generated. So these type of data is called transaction data. So always we will whenever I say attribute view, we always work on top of master data only. Attribute view will contain all the master data. Select subset of columns and rows can join multiple tables and single dimension. So practically we will see how to create these joins and all, how to define the cardinalities. Okay, when we start working with HANA Studio, we'll see how to create all these tables and joins and defining cardinalities and how to deploy this attribute views, and on top of attribute views, how can we create this analytical views. Okay, analytical views again is a combination of both master data and transaction data. So that is the reason here we are saying this is the models of the star schema. Okay, so when we start with the actual HANA training, I will also explain what is a star schema in the ETL system, and I will also explain extended star schema, because if I explain the star schema and extended star schema, then only you will come to understand what is this attribute analytical view is for. Create a selection of measures, key figures. Okay, so when I share some key figures in the transaction data, this any report, whenever I say a report is for analysis, this analysis is made on what quantity sold, revenues. Okay, when revenues or quantity sold, these are of and attributes So add attributes, then join additional attributes. So we'll see everything in detail when we actually start with the HANA Studio. These are the calculation views. Again, this is on top of different analytical views. Together, we can build one calculation view on top of analytical views. And analytical privilege, it is for the security. Okay, how to secure any view. Will create an analytical privilege, and we will use this analytical privilege for particular user or a particular view group. Okay, depending on our requirement, we can use this analytical privilege. So calculation views, analytic views, attribute views. Okay, and this is the look and feel of the HANA Studio, and this is how any attribute view will look like. Okay, so this is the data foundation where we will add all the required master data tables, and this is how we will join everything. Okay, establish the relation between the tables. Okay, in this slide, okay, this is the product table. Okay, this is the product attribute table, and this is the time dimension table or time attribute table. Okay, and this is one more product table which will contain more details of the product. So, okay, here it is maintaining color code and color label. Here it is maintaining category and family name of the same product. Okay, so we can select the required fields out of this master tables, and we can build a data foundation like this. And all the fields which we add in this data foundation, we can use these fields for analysis. And these are the actual tables of the OLTP system. Directly we can work on top of these actual tables. And we can only select the required columns, and we can pull it into the data foundation. Whatever the columns we pull into data foundation, on top of that columns we can do the analysis. This is one more example, okay, which will demonstrate how to work with the different systems. Okay, and this is the ETL plus modeling and plus reporting. Okay, we can use data services, and we can use HANA Studio. We can use BO 4.0 for reporting. This is the SAP BW system. We can perform everything in HANA. So this is the course content which we will cover during our HANA training. In-memory computing, evolution in memory computing, SAP, HANA, architecture, overview. So we will cover everything, all these things. Reporting, security, user management, data provisioning, we will do all these things. At reporting, okay, connectivity options, Excel reporting on HANA, business objects, okay, BI4 Explorer, information design tool also I will cover. Okay, this tool is useful for both HANA and BU as well. Okay, I will show how to use web intelligence crystal reports via ODBC or JDBC connections. Information composer. Okay. We will cover each and everything. Okay. This is the proper content which is delivered by SAP. Okay, means after completion of my training, you can also go for certification with no doubt. So that's all. Okay, for today I will end the session. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, you can please ask me.
Hey Praveen.
Yeah.
Hey Praveen, this is Ajay. So what are the prerequisites for taking this course? I mean, do you recommend like some database knowledge or some DBA experience or reporting or ETL, any kind of experience prior to taking this course, or what?
The minimum I will expect is the minimum database knowledge. What is a database? Okay, and how the database tables are. The minimum. Okay, we don't work with the actual database tables here, but still you need to know, make yourself comfortable while working with HANA.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about like the data storage, the row level storage or column level storage retrieval, or that, or
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have a simple understanding of a normal table, then you know it is very clear. Okay, because we don't really work anything technical. Means technically we don't create anything, right? We will just write a simple SQL statement. Okay, means when I said views, okay, automatically system is creating the views in a row column type. So you are not doing anything. The system is doing it. So because
Right.
you need to know the difference and you need to feel the performance, you need to have this understanding.
Okay.
So practically, we will always use this HANA or ETL system or RDBMS system for analysis, right? We are always struggling all these things. Means we are learning all these things. We are implementing all these things to only develop analysis reports.
Right.
Okay, so whatever the views which we are building here, okay, automatically system is creating the tables in the backend by the column type. So when I say column type is more flexible for analysis because it's more faster in the performance.
Right.
So if you understand this logic, that's more than enough. Means if you see any table physically, it will look in the same way. You can feel of any table in the same way. But based on the column type, okay, so when I say column and row store, I said, right? So based on the type, the data retrieval is done. Okay, and while creating tables, I will also show you how to create column store and row store. And anytime you can switch any table from column store to row store to column store without any disturbance. Means you don't need to worry about the data in it. Okay, so depending on requirement, you can change this by typing a very simple SQL statement, or also you can seek the help of GUI. Means you don't need to be any SQL expert.
So it's like similar to Universe Designer, like creating all these models and everything?
No, I will not say, I will not compare this HANA with the Universe. It is something, it's, you know, Universe, it's just a semantic layer. There we can only work with the existing structures of the original database, right? We can only establish the relationship, cardinalities and all. Here we can create our own tables. Here we can feed our own data also.
Okay.
Here we can create our own schemas. Okay, this is more than a database, whereas Universe is just a semantic layer. Okay, it will not contain any data in it physically. We cannot create our own schemas or tables, and we cannot use that as a database application. HANA is purely a database application.
Okay, and the other question that I had is, so all the data is it going to be like relational, or will there be like any OLAP cubes or anything that will be built, like similar to analysis services cubes?
Right. Yeah. Your question is really valid question. Actually, I have covered this topic during my presentation or demonstration. I think you missed it. So whenever I say views, those views are nothing but OLAP models.
Okay.
Means OLAP is for analysis, right? ETL models. Okay. Right. You do reporting on top of ETL models only, right? So means whatever you can achieve in ETL system, you can do everything in HANA system. Whatever you can do in RDBMS, you can do everything in HANA system. So it is depending on requirement, we can do anything.
Okay.
Any questions? Any more questions, guys?
Yeah, Praveen, Devashish this side. I just wanted to ask one basic question, like for a pure ABAPer, like who has worked in core ABAP, so how will he benefit from, by choosing HANA as the next step in his career?
ABAP means you will have the basic understanding of database, right? Database and SQL.
And also, sorry, I'll also add one part to it, like how for an ABAPer, what will be his role as an ABAPer in HANA?
for an ABAPer, it will be an enhancement and it will be a more knowledge, I can say. But in what way it will? It means it's not like an add-on for you. It's like a new subject, but you will have a very good future if you focus on HANA. This is more easy, and because you already technically sound with both programming and SQL skills, right? So you can put your skills in HANA.
Okay. And also whether it is mandatory for him to know BI, BW, or BO in order to start HANA, or a person who has only worked in...
No. It is not mandatory, but I will definitely say that it will be a easy understanding for a BW guy. But why I don't know, but SAP has designed the HANA course content in such a way that it is it means SAP always matches all these whatever the views which we are working on. It always maps with the BW models which we create.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be a easy understanding for BW guy, but I will definitely say that it will not be a hard task for a newcomer also, because it's very easy.
Okay. So it's not mandatory to know BW or a BI, because a person who will be in BW for a period of 3 years or more.
Yeah, it's not
for a person who has worked in ABAP only and not in BW and BI. Definitely there will be a difference. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Means when after completing this course, because you are very good with the database, you can always map your existing database skills with HANA. Okay, means if SAP comes out for any means if SAP or any client is looking specific resources, means who will only have data with very good database knowledge and HANA, and in the market you can't see anybody.
Oh,
because whoever is learning HANA, the people who are learning, they are some BO background or data services background or BW background. Okay.
Correct.
The people already who are very much comfortable with the database, they are not learning the HANA. Actually, whoever is comfortable with the database, if they learn HANA, that will be more benefit for end clients and also for SAP.
Okay. Got it.
Actually, I don't know why, but SAP need to change this perception. Otherwise, because such a big company, if the company is not focusing on particular perception, and as an individual we cannot really promote it, right? But I will suggest, if a good SQL, means anybody who will have very good knowledge in database, he can use this HANA in more flexible way than a normal guy.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. So for today, I want to end the session. Okay. That's all, guys. Right? You don't have any more questions, right?
No, nothing from me.
And may I speak to organizer? Hello? Oh, I forgot your name. Jagannath.
Yeah. Tell me, sir.
Can you please, as soon as this session is finished, can you please forward me this recorded video?
Okay. We will do that. We will do that, sir.
Okay. Then for now, I'm just signing out. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Hi guys. I mean Ajay, Arun, and Dave.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
How was the
Yeah,
session?
Jagan.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. How was the session? Hello.
Yeah, let's take turn talk, I guess. And okay, the session was good enough, so fine, fair enough. So like the basic understanding of HANA is clear, like why we need to take HANA and what are the benefits. We understand that.
Okay.
So that was a basic understanding. So we also wanted to, like, I wanted to know exactly, like in the last slide, he has showed us, what are the topics we're going to cover.
Okay.
So would like to understand from you, like, what all other helps we'll be getting in terms of server access or any, training materials or something.
Okay. Okay,
The
sir.
other
How?
guys,
Okay, sir. See, server access case, you have to take server access extra. Okay, as it is very costly in the market, and we are charging not high cost. This is the basic cost in the market. Hello.
okay, yeah, I'm listening.
See, sir. I mean, the charges wise, we are charging very less charge in the market. Okay, so we have to pay the extra amount for the server access. We will give you. I mean, we have third-party vendors. We will give you in cheap rates, so you can take the server access and you can utilize it.
Okay.
Any other questions, sir? Ajay, Arun?
Yeah, Jagan, this is Ajay. So again, to Dev's point here, will there be any installation required for this training or on our machines or anything, like even like a temporary software that will be given?
No, sir. No. HANA require say high configuration systems. It is not possible to install in your systems. So we'll give you server access so that in that server you can practice. How many days you want, you can practice.
Yeah, but for that you're saying it's going to be an extra amount, right, or extra
Yes,
charge?
sir. Yes. So, sir, HANA server access. I mean, if it is 1,000 or 2,000, we can give you in the same amount, sir. But the thing is, it is not like that. It would be around 4,000 per month server access.
Okay.
It is not installable in your system even.
Okay, so that's what I mean. Is there any like sandbox or playground, I mean, where we could try this? So you're saying, so we have to pay a little extra, and I mean, otherwise, if we just get the training without any, like some like exercises on the side, it probably won't be much help to us. So we definitely need.
See, sir,
Yeah.
definitely. See, sir, if you want me to include the server access in this this itself, I have to increase the price. Right?
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, it'll be nice, but yeah, if you could let us know what's the extra amount that's going to cost or anything, that will be great. So we'll.
See, sir, I mean, the server access cost would be in the market is 5,000 rupees per month. But the thing is, here we will give you around 3,000, 3,500 per month.
Okay.
So that you can see, if it is 3,000, again, if you add one more 1,000 and you can utilize it for 2 months.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, sir, I can say one thing: we are focusing on quality training in cheap cost. That is what our motto is.
No, I'm not denying anything. I'm just saying, yeah. So I'm just asking what are those details. So and what's the extra amount? So based on that, like I can either get the server access for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. So I just need the cost. So
how many months you want, that many months you can take it. But the thing is, I can offer you in 3,000, sir. 3,000 per month.
Monetary details I can talk to you separately offline, or I can send you an email or something. So we can discuss on later. I mean.
Yeah, sure.
So when is the actual course going to begin? I mean, I know it's a demo today, but when is the actual?
That I most probably by Monday, sir. Monday.
Okay.
And so it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Friday and Saturday, and then Monday will be starting.
Okay.
Arun, is that fine for you? Arun, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm there. Yes.
Is that fine for you from Monday?
Yep.
Okay. And Devesh?
Dave, basically. Anyways, I'll just get back to you on this.
Okay.
Get back to you on this. Okay. So I'll my availability will be a issue. Maybe not Monday. I'll have to plan up and I'll get back to you. Maybe with a quick email or an offline discussion. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I mean, if you want to speak anything, please you can write me a mail in offline.
Sure,
Okay.
Chetan.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for attending the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.